Inserting the router in the router table may be considered by many as the obvious choice to construct the joint. Take time to consider an alternative method that may prove to be safer, a method where the router is used in the plunge mode. You may regard this technique to be new, and therefore I have found it necessary to construct a number of detailed drawings to illustrate and assist in the preparation of the jigs and templates before constructing the boxes. The miter cutter with a bearing has been selected to route the miters. The 400 by 300 mm jig holder will also be required to hold the material and the jig. This jig holder will also hold the template secure during the process of routing the miter. Sectional views have been included here to show the build-up of the final project as we proceed from stage to stage. Ignore the faint images that are seen in the drawings, as this is a complete series of drawings that will build up to the final drawing as we proceed in stages. After the jig holder is constructed, insert a base piece 400 by 300 by 16 mm thick. This will become the jig. It may be necessary to secure the jig to the sides. This can be achieved with a number of screws inserted through the side of the jig holder. The second section of the jig is added in the center of the jig holder, and it is important that the sides are parallel with the ends of the jig holder. The width of the material will depend on the length of the side or the ends of the box. This can be held secure by inserting nylon or metal threaded plugs and securing the center section of the jig with the metal threaded screw. Adopting this method will allow for ease of changing this section of the jig to cater for a greater variety of box sizes. Additional packing pieces are added, approximately 40 mm from the center section. These are added as support pieces and are simply screwed in position. The 40 mm space will allow the cutter to move freely and also control the movement of the cutter. The material to be cut are positioned with additional packing material added as supports. This packing material is the same thickness as the box material and will help to ensure the router base is kept horizontal during the process. Firmly fixed in position, a fence parallel to the side of the jig holder is added. The width of this section will be determined by the width of the material for the box. It will be necessary to secure this fence to the jig. Positioning this fence will also ensure the material is produced at an angle of 90 degrees. This is not the only holding device that will be required to hold the material secure, as the timber will move either from left to right or right to left, depending on the edge being cut at the time. The final section illustrated is placed in position to support the router. The distance left between the two outside pieces and the center piece is important. This will prevent the router from dropping into the gap. Small screws are inserted through the router support to stop the material from moving during the process of routing the miter. Constructing the final section is completed simply by gluing various sections of 12mm MDF together, then laminating both sides. Perfect miters can be produced with safety every time.